I'm here. It's Wednesday. On Wednesday, we wear pink. I'm so ready for the Mean Girls movie. I don't know why they're advertising that already. It doesn't come out until like March. Why y'all advertising that? Like, Fetch is gonna happen, and I can't wait for Fetch to happen. And so, it's cool. This morning, Tristan got into the car and said, "You got on pajamas?" And I was like, "No, I have on my Willy Wonka-ish sweatsuit." It looks like Willy Wonka.
Oh, it is Willy Wonka, huh? It looked like
I don't know what it is. It's a Nike sweatsuit that I got. It's my little piggy socks.
It looks like Cat in the Hat.
It do. Isn't it Alice in Wonderland?
Alice in Wonderland.
When she swirls down the hall. What does it say here? It says,
"Oh, what did I say? Cat in the Hat."
Over matter. Show your self-love.
Oh, that's nice.
That is a nice message for today.
That is a
mind
nice
over matter. Show your self-love. Aside from that, I'm doing pretty well. Yesterday was just a regular evening. Hung out with the fam a little bit. Had a little spaghetti dinner. Oh no, we didn't. We had a little pizza dinner.
A little pizza dinner.
And that was that. And that was the evening.
We attended the funeral services of Daniel Gaskin,
Yes,
and that
we
was
did.
beautiful.
Yes, we did.
And we had a really great time. Celebrating his life yesterday at Aspires. Shout out to everybody that was there.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to everybody that came through. Again, condolences to the Gaskin family, Jennifer and the kids and his family and friends. I know that's a tough loss.
That's a very tough loss. And still very unbelievable.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Weird.
What do you call it? Repass.
Yeah.
The send off. He was
It was
fully,
vibes.
He was fully decked out
Mm-hmm.
in his favorite team, the Mean Green.
Yeah.
Now his nice Celtics jersey, and inside the hall was also decorated with the Celtics colors. They had a nice little marijuana plant on the stage.
yes.
Which
great pictures of him all over the place. He took some great pictures. Had really, really nice pictures. It was so weird. And a few people said, like, this don't seem like this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Right.
It seems like a birthday party for him, and we're waiting for him to come here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it did have that kind of vibe. And Daniel Gaskin will be, greatly missed, forever loved, and will live on in the hearts of so many people because he touched so many people. He always made everybody feel so special.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter who you were, he made you feel like individually special.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a great ability to have in people. Shout out to Jen yesterday, who was like the pillar of strength in so many ways.
Yeah.
Eulogized her husband. Who can do that? Who can do that? So, shout out to her. And of course, we will all be here to surround Jen with love and to hold her up in whatever moments, in whatever capacity she needs. So, again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. How are you today, Triz?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yesterday was also my mother's birthday. So before I went to the funeral, after we got off the air, I went down to the MSPCA.
Oh, that's where you went and got it.
Oh.
And they were supposed to open at 12 o'clock. They were supposed to be open at 11. They didn't open until 12 o'clock. But, we adopted a new cat for my mother.
How does that work? You just
That's
go
so
down there
sweet.
and pick one out?
So I went last Friday. You can go in the room and see, like, every 2 weeks, I think they get like new batches.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I just went in there, told them what I was looking for, and saw my cat. And, I think we're going to name her Soka.
I like it.
Our last cat was Mocha. We had Coco, Mocha, and this one's going to be Soka.
That's cute.
Makes sense,
On one of the Star Wars shows, the girl, the main character's name is Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, but that's really sweet. So for those of y'all who don't know, Tristan and his family had Mocha, their cat, for about how long? 20 years?
Yeah, like 20 years.
Like 20 years.
I think it was more than that, but yeah, she was there for a
yeah,
long time.
Mocha was around for a long time, and Mocha was a talker. She used to talk the whole time, and it was weird. So it was not weird, but it was really, really cool. She was a real cool cat.
Yeah.
And then Mocha passed last year, so that was a really, really nice gift for you guys.
I think a coyote got her.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I think a coyote got her.
To Mocha?
Do
Yeah.
you think so?
Yeah, because she was like attacked by something. She was just didn't die.
Oh,
Really?
I thought
I
she
didn't
died
know
from
that.
natural causes.
Mocha gonna die. That cat would have never died.
No, that's true.
Mocha would have never died.
That's true. When Danielle called me that day and was like, Mocha died, I was like, oh my God, that's so awful. But yeah, so that was a really, really nice, thoughtful gift that you guys got for your mom yesterday. That's really nice.
That's good.
Even
How
though
you
she don't
feeling,
be petting the
Saucy?
cats, she just want the cats to catch the mice.
That's what cats are supposed to be for. It's
That's
supposed
Cat's
to mount
job.
and to keep you company when you don't think that nobody else is.
Because they digging up all the areas. They got all the mice coming into people's house.
It's disgusting. This freaking disgusting. Yes. And I am well. So we'll proceed on with this show. Let's get into it. Today is, let's start the show.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz. The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM. Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387.
So today is December 6th, the 6th of December. If you looked outside today, you saw something surprising. Snow has been falling. Is it still falling? It is still falling. Are we supposed to get any inches?
No.
No, it's just falling.
Yeah, it's just falling. Just
Flurries.
a sprinkle.
It was so dark this morning too. Like CK woke up probably like around 6:15 and was like, "Mom, how am I supposed to go to school if it's dark outside?" Boy, I used to go to school back in my day. I used to go to school when it was dark outside, when it was dark, pitch black. Yeah. So
No heat.
yeah. So no, it is snowing outside. It's gonna be snowing for most of the, I don't know, mostly cloudy with snow showers during the morning. High in 36 degrees, winds in the north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And there's still a chance of snow for the rest of the day, probably about 40%. You might, you might drop a little bit more later on, but it's not going to stick. I did happen to see a vehicle today that was covered in snow.
Oh.
It must have not been from around these
Come from
parts
New
here.
Hampshire.
Yeah, but it had like at least an inch of snow on its car.
Would it come down from the mountaintop?
That's what I said. I was like, wow. And then the whole driving that you did to come from where you came from with all of that snow, it didn't get the snow off.
They was showing off.
It's very interesting. And put no heat on in the car.
When Noah woke up this morning and was like, "Mom, it's snowing and the whole world is covered with snow." There was not one.
The whole world.
Like the snow, like the snow's definitely coming down, but you don't see it. So I was like, all right.
As soon as it hit the ground, it's gone.
It's gone.
The whole world is covered in snow. Wow, really?
Drama.
So yesterday we touched on the fact that there was a new budget proposed in the city of Boston, and Maura Healey had signed some $3.4 billion, yada. So today they dug a little deeper. Mayor Michelle Wu announces new contract for Boston Police Department. Mayor Michelle Wu announced a new 5-year contract between the city and the Boston Police Patrolmen Association. The new agreement covers the period from July 1st to July 30th. So they're going to get a little retro pay.
Oh, wow.
And gives officers a 21% increase over the length of that contract. How much do you usually get a yearly, when you do your yearly exam?
2 to 4%.
2 to 4%.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are getting retro paid 21% in increases? Wow.
Yeah.
Wu's office said it's the first contract in decades to deliver significant operational reforms, and the cost is in line with the most recent previous contracts. Let's go to the story with this
on a new
girl.
contract after working without one for the last 4 years. Now, this will include cost of living adjustments and significant reforms in discipline, paid details, medical leave, union release, officer retention, and educational incentives.
I am really excited. The fact that this contract reflects, certainly for the men and women that do the work, the bulk of the work in the police department, certainly a fair compensation for the work that they've been doing.
I'm confident that we reached the best deal for our residents and for Boston's finest and their families by settling this at the table together in good faith without leaving it up to outside parties.
Well, the new agreement covers the period from July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2025, and gives officers a 21% pay increase over the length of that contract.
Wow.
All right. I'm proud to stand by an agreement between the BPPA and the city that recognizes the value that the men and women of the BPPA provide to the city every day. This agreement will compensate our officers for being part of the world-class police department that we are and represents a joint commitment to work together to make sure that individuals who do not represent the value of our city are not a part of our department. That's nice.
Do they gotta date a policeman, doctor? You know what? I don't want to date no policeman. After I saw how that police officer abused that girl, I don't want to date no police officer.
Which one was that?
Remember the police officer went and told everybody that the girl was crazy, then he went to her house and wrestled her to the ground and all kinds of stuff. I don't want to date no police officer. And in Virgin River, the girl was married to a police officer who was beating her all the time. She had to kill him.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yep.
Here goes another plot twist. Because I'm confused at this point. A woman is charged in connection with the Kowloon. Oh, with the Kowloon fight. I thought it was the man who had the accidental death with the knife chain. Because I was like, now there's a woman in custody.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Why she look like what's her name?
Cousin It?
No, she's that dude.
No, the one that comes out of the well.
One that look like
the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. A woman charged in connection with a fight inside Kowloon restaurant in Saugus last month appeared in court on Tuesday pleading not guilty. The fight happened on the night right before Thanksgiving and was captured on camera. Authorities said Rosetta Sophia McCauley, 32 of North Reading, turned herself into police earlier the day, Tuesday, after officials announced charges against her and several other people. As she faced a judge, prosecutors outlined allegations against McCauley, saying she used a bottle to hit two men over the head.
Damn.
One bottle for two men?
She was wilding.
Because that's crazy.
Here goes the clip.
Hold on. We're almost there.
Is facing a judge. 7 Steve Cooper reporting live in Lynn with details from court today. Steve.
Right, Adam, this was a late day arraignment just wrapping up moments ago. And according to the Saugus police report, the defendant in this case used a bottle to hit two men over the head during this wild barroom melee. That was described by prosecutors outlined in court. Today, that victim, well, they weren't speaking out, but the suspect was here in court, walking into court facing a judge after turning herself into police in Saugus today.
Rosario McCauley.
A not guilty plea in Lynn District Court late Tuesday afternoon from Rosario McCauley of North Reading. Prosecutors say she was one of 4 people charged by Saugus police with that barroom brawl at the Kowloon restaurant on Route 1 the night before Thanksgiving. That was captured on cell phone video and went viral. Just flying with officers scrambling to break up the fight.
Created incredibly dangerous
animals.
This was a crowded night. The night before Thanksgiving. Things obviously got out of hand.
McCauley turned herself in to Saugus police this morning, where she was booked on 2 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, the weapon being a glass bottle. 3 others are facing charges that include disorderly conduct and underage drinking. Prosecutors looking for a $10,000 cash bail, citing her arrest record from Missouri. Included a drug possession case, a drunk driving charge, and animal cruelty charge. McCauley's attorney says she's a traveling nurse who was simply defending her boyfriend, who was being beat up at the bar by 5 other men.
My client was out to eat with her boyfriend. They ended up going to the bar.
Lift your head up, woman.
My client tells me her boyfriend was attacked by not just 2 guys, but
let me see your face.
McCauley left the courthouse with little to say about what happened. Can you tell us, were you acting in self-defense?
No comment.
Show your face.
How is your boyfriend doing?
How's your boyfriend?
I'm surprised that reporters don't get punched in the face more often.
Exactly.
If you don't get this goddamn microphone out of my face right now.
I can't stand Larry Jordan. He said 2 guys, 1 bottle is better than 2 girls, 1 cup.
It is.
Anything is better than that 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yo, she was wilding out, and that's
she was.
They was all wilding out.
But that's if that's not the definition of ride or die, okay? She said, "Y'all not gonna jump all 5 of y'all not gonna jump my boyfriend. I'm gonna grab this bottle and do what it do." I feel you. That's the kind of woman men want.
I'm gonna get you.
Bring up Super Roy. I come in Soca Ski Festival for the first time.
Yo, everybody's going to Soca Ski Festival.
I think I might have to go for the first time too.
I still got some really great friends there.
Awesome. Yeah, that she was hey. the one that was wilding out in Saugus. Kowloon is dangerous. You gotta think about if you really want to go there.
I feel like Kowloon is one of them turn up spots where it's like almost like a little strip club almost. Like you gotta be
like an Agus.
Yeah, you gotta know that you going there to turn up and get drunk, and then that's what's happening.
Get crunk. Apparently. What else do we have here in the news?
A skimming device found at a Chelsea market basket. Not a market basket. Market basket is good. We love market basket.
You really got to be vigilant when you go out there and you're using ATMs and you're using all these devices, because there's so many skimming devices and ways to get your information out.
And then I just feel like the world is pushing us towards more devices that have more information, and then they haven't gotten a hold on what's it called, scamming and anything. Right. But every day y'all want to come out with a new chip or something for us, how we can use to pay some, scan your retinas and all kind of stuff.
I love Apple Pay though.
Me too. Apple Pay is good. So an investigation got underway Tuesday after skimming device was found at a register at a Market Basket store in Chelsea. A police official told 7 News store management personnel at the Market Basket on Everett Avenue were told about the device Tuesday evening. The official said the device, which is used to steal credit card information, was similar to ones found at other stores in Massachusetts and New Hampshire earlier this year. Where does one find a skimming device?
The black market.
Again, let me ask this again, because Temu is definitely the black market.
Yes.
I don't care what anybody says. Temu is the black. There's nothing that you cannot find on Temu. Now, it might not work for more than a day, more than a one-time use, but there is not a damn thing you cannot find on Temu.
Wonder if I could buy. Let me see.
What?
I'm gonna see him go on Temu and see if I can find a skimming device.
Don't you look for that on your phone?
It's not. We call it.
It's just a search.
Oh,
search in the platform.
Oh, okay.
Because if they got a skimming device, and then what is this? Just a little computer that you put next to it and it read it off?
Yeah. What is it, like a Ring doorbell that you stick on something?
They look like the pads, the pads that are inside the stores. They look like that. They literally go on top of it.
Oh, so like a little dress.
And you think you're sticking your credit card inside? It's
not like a
of
little dress.
Your credit card is going inside of somebody else's skimmer. That looks identical. It literally fits on top of the machine thingy.
That's crazy.
That is terrible. That is terrible, and I would like to have one. Police in Concord, New Hampshire shared an initial warning with skimmers in their community on November 13th, which is my sister's birthday.
Hello.
A matter of weeks after the skimmers were found at local Walmart and Market Basket. Concord police at the time said skimmers had also been found recently in Somerville, Reading, and Haverhill, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and New Hampshire. Now, if I wanted to do some skimming, I would go over there to the more richer parts of the city. The richer parts. Maybe like the Chestnut Hills
Beacon
and
Hill,
Newton.
Newton.
All those kind of places, and go to Little Marshalls.
Here's the connection. Oh, the Natick Connection collection.
Collection.
What the hell is the Natick collection?
That's my favorite mall.
The Natick Mall is called the Natick Collection.
You never knew that?
Yes, girl.
No, that's been all the time.
All the time.
No. Like as of when it got super fancy, it turned to the collection.
Like the last 10 years, definitely.
Oh, I didn't know it was called the Natick Connection. I thought it was just the Natick Mall.
No, girl.
So why didn't they call it the Natick Plaza, like the South Shore Plaza?
It's no plaza.
That's so crazy how the South Shore Plaza ain't nothing. It's still Braintree Mall.
It's still a Braintree Mall.
Yeah, that's it. South Shore Plaza.
Whoever says I'm going to the plaza.
Like in New York, King's Plaza and stuff. Do they just say King's or do they say King's Plaza?
They probably call it plaza.
They probably call it Plaza because they call pizzas pies. That's stupid.
New York's so fancy.
So creative.
So creative.
So this has been pissing my mother off. Students suffer brutal beating near Lawrence High School. Two Lawrence High School students were attacked near the school on Monday in what one of the parents describes as a beating so violent her son was left convulsing on the ground. The city police department says they have identified 5 of the people responsible. Police said that the investigation began when officers were called to Sullivan Park next to the Lawrence High School campus Monday afternoon, where they found one student injured and lying on the basketball court and a second with a cut on his face. Both were taken to the hospital for the treatment and their parents called. The mother of one of the victims said her son is in the 10th grade. Alorios Rosario said that she was initially called. She was told that her child had fallen. When she arrived, her son was unconscious, being treated by paramedics. When he awoke, he told her he was beaten by a large group, as many as 20 to 30 people. Well, he exaggerated just a tad bit. However, 5 people beating your ass most likely feels like 20 to 30, if I'm being honest. Not that I would know, because I would be dead.
We have the story right here.
Here it is.
No. Oh,
They have been told they have to eat lunch in their classrooms for the rest of the week, but parents say that is not enough.
You know, this was another. Sorry. That one was in Lawrence High School too. A whole bunch of fights that were caught on camera in Lawrence High School. The video that's attached to the story right there isn't the clear one though, so that's what I was trying to find. But yeah, go ahead.
Hold on,
you can play whatever they have there.
Yeah. We watched some of the video last night while we was watching the news, and that looks crazy.
It was so brutal and severe, and like
is still in the hospital. NBC 10's Darren Patella joining us live from the park in Lawrence, where this all happened. Darren.
Well, the families of the victims are calling for justice tonight after that attack right here in this park near Lawrence High School. And I'll tell you, I saw officers in this park all day long after that video of the attack went viral on social media. Video showing a group of kids assaulting 2 Lawrence High students at a park near the school on Monday afternoon. A family member of one of those teens spoke with us on Tuesday after police arrested 4 underage suspects, charging them with felonies.
He's in pain right now. Has a cut here. His ears are black and blue and swollen. His rib cage is black and blue. The other kid, he's worse. Right now he's in Boston. Like very, very bad. Police could not tell us why the suspects jumped the 2 victims while walking through Sullivan Park, only saying this wasn't a random act of violence. The guys that jumped them said, "What are you looking at?" And they were like, "Okay, we're not looking at you." And one of them yelled, "Let's jump them, let's jump them." You can see from part of the video from the fight, one of the Lawrence High School students getting dragged along the basketball court. Police say one of the kids was also robbed of an undisclosed amount of money. The 2 victims ended up at the hospital, with one of them still in the hospital. That broke my heart. Like, I don't think it's fair for no kid at that age go through this. The suspects who were already arrested are suspended from school while the investigation continues. We need to do something. This can't stay like that. Like, we need justice, and we are going to fight for justice. And police say there is no danger to the public. Those 4 suspects are expected to appear in court for arraignment tomorrow, and there may be more on the way. Live tonight in Lawrence, Darren Botello, NBC 10 Boston.
That's so scary and disheartening and awful.
Let me tell you who's not. I told y'all, if y'all ever see my child outside by himself, please place him inside of your car and bring him to me, because that's not gonna make it.
I can't.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. That's my worst fear, of seeing my child being dragged somewhere and kicked and punched into a fence to the point where he goes unconscious.
Yeah. That's what LaWanda said. These kids are so stupid they don't realize that their feet, fists and feet are weapons. Uncle Grandpa said 20 people. He was counting hands and feet, and I believe him.
Yeah, me too.
Schneider said they will be charged with attempted murder with a dangerous weapon, and I hope that they do charge them like that. I hope they at least have to sit in juvie for 4 years or something like they got it. Something has to happen to these kids. This is not okay.
What is the proper form of discipline for children? Because you often have 2 different frames of mind. Mm-hmm. You believe in second chances. So you want them to be able to change their lives around and do better. And they can probably end up being great products of society.
Mm-hmm.
but they still need to be held accountable in some type of way. So they do need real discipline in order to understand that when you do things like that, in order to get a second chance, you have to feel like you don't have any more chances. So like, you don't like what would make children believe like that's okay? Like in the moment while you're kicking someone in their head, at what point does anything kick into you like this is not okay?
Right, but what wasn't instilled in you that you knew that it wasn't okay in the first place is where I feel like you have to start. But I definitely feel like I believe in second chances, all of those things that you said, but you are old enough to do better. Once you are in high school, you are old enough to know better, and you know that what you're doing is wrong. You know right from wrong, and you definitely have to face some real consequences for doing things like this. This is not okay. They could have killed that boy. That boy's in critical condition.
Two of them.
Well, I mean, they were both really hurt, but one of them is still in the hospital. And you said that his mother in the interview said that if he had gotten kicked one more time in the head, he would be dead.
Yep.
That is definitely attempted murder.
Absolutely. 100%.
You could have killed that boy. So, and then what if you did kill him? So they need to face these hard consequences for that.
It's ridiculous. It's so sad because you really can't, like some people we were talking about yesterday, like some people don't have the privilege of being able to pick up their children or, you know, send somebody for them or make sure that they never take the MBTA or have to travel alone. And that's something that you can't prevent because people is just out here wilding out and doing whatever they want. And it's really just sad.
Everybody, these kids these days, or people these days, think nothing of taking a life.
Yeah.
Like they think nothing of it. It's nothing to them. We used to get into fights back in our day. Like we get into fights, everybody meet up at the station and everybody fight each other. But these kids are literally trying to kill each other these days. What is that? What is happening? What's going on? It's a plague.
I tell you.
Jesus.
It seems like Jesus. I don't know what's going on out there in Lawrence, period. But if you guys Google Lawrence, it seems like there's been crazy hella violence going on out there.
Those are the type of places that don't often get as much aid and resources and stuff like that. We be thinking we have it bad in Boston, but those areas especially don't get no damn help from anybody, which is sad and ridiculous because clearly they need something over there wilding out. That concludes our Around the Way news. We'll be back after a quick commercial break. Give us a call. What I'm saying? We'll be right back. Bye-bye.
Turn it on. Turn it up.
This is SparkFMOnline.com.
Hey, are you ready to dive into the heart of Hood Life? A brand that's all about unity, empowerment, and style. Hood Life was born from the negativity associated with hoodies, specifically in our Black and brown communities, and we want to change that. Visit us today and make a purchase of a sweatsuit or hoodie, and we've got a special treat for you. To show a token of our appreciation for your support, use SparkFM code at checkout and receive a free bucket hat or t-shirt. That's right, absolutely free. Don't forget to visit hoodlifeshop.com. HOODLYFESHOP.com.
Moonbox Productions is thrilled to present Legally Blonde, the musical. Perky sorority girl Elle Woods follows her ex-boyfriend to Harvard Law School, where she discovers she's not just pretty, but pretty brilliant and pretty powerful. Opening on December 8th and running through December 31st at the Boston Center for the Arts, Roberts Theater is located at 527 Tremont Street. Tickets are available at bostontheaterscene.com. Tickets range from $45 to $65, and pay what you wish options are available at the box office.
Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information. Boston's new home for urban Caribbean music, Spark FM. Playing all your favorite hits. From reggae,
live like a trafficking. I don't give up.
Hip hop,
Calling me splurge. Drop me jump right on the curb. Bentley spread fly like a bird.
Spin on the first and the third.
R&B.
I search that fine for you. I do that 3 more times again. I testify for you. I saw that
Afro beats.
When you see them, give me that. Chop up on my body like animal. That's make you feel like.
And much more. Spark FM. Urban Caribbean music for Boston and around the world at sparkfmonline.com.
I'm going to give you to the count of 3 to get your lousy, lying, low-down, four-flushing carcass out my door.
The People Station. What is that?
What is that?
Spark FM.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are here, and we're back. And we've got a we got a rescheduled interview that we wanted to bring you guys because we're really excited about this project that we're going to be talking to you guys about. Today we have Mr. Ed Gaskin, who is the executive director of Greater Grove Hall Main Street. And we're going to be talking about the really, really awesome tribute to Black women in this city. Good morning, Mr. Ed Gaskin. How are you?
I am fine, and I'm so excited to be on the show today. You have no idea.
I am really excited for you to be here, too. It's been a long time coming, and we're glad to see you. And
I just have to tell you that this is one of my favorite places to interview.
Good. I'm excited about that. This is one of the questions that I
probably shouldn't say that because I was just on BUR yesterday.
Well, no, say that because they need to know. Yes. They need to know where you like to be. First of all, tell us what Greater Grove Hall Main Streets is and how do you direct it?
Okay, so there's 20 main streets in Boston.
Okay.
So just within a mile of mine, there's an Eggleston Square Main Street, there's a Roxbury Main Street, there's Bone Geneva Main Street, there's Four Corners Main Street. So, and we're all focused on trying to improve that neighborhood, primarily through economic development, but we also do community development. I work on infrastructure issues, but like whatever I can do to make that neighborhood better in theory, so that the businesses do better and that the residents have a better experience.
Okay, and what are some of the things that the residents would come to you or businesses would come to you for or to do?
So typically it has to do with some type of technical assistance.
Okay.
So maybe they need help with getting a bookkeeping or accounting. Maybe they need marketing or social media. Maybe they need help getting a loan or some financing, redo their store inside, outside, or any of the other kinds of things. So we don't just provide, in other words, the city has all these resources to provide technical assistance.
Yeah.
And then most people don't understand that they're free. And I say free in quotes because you pay taxes.
Yeah.
So your tax dollars are paying for them. You're just not using them. So what I tried to say is I didn't really think that was fair in quotes. Like I said, we're all paying for the services, not using it. So I try to make sure that people use it as much as possible. And I did a similar type of thing with public art. One time I went to a thing from the Boston Society of Architects, and it said there was a relationship between public art and economic development.
Yeah.
So at that time, the city had a map that showed all the public art in the city. So all these little red dots, like on a Google map, were all downtown Boston.
And none anywhere else.
I had one in my neighborhood, which was a painted utility box. I said, so the city's...
I remember that initiative too, that one...
I said, so the city's investment in public art in my neighborhood is $300. I said, so we did things like getting the murals. We got the utility boxes, and we did a thing where we have 12 bus shelters, and so instead of having the ads in the bus shelters, we had photographs taken by Black photographers.
Oh yeah, that's intentional activism. I feel like little things that don't seem like it's as engaging as it is. When you make those little changes like that, you're really kind of sending a big message.
When I was there that morning, and the guy that was putting up the first portrait photography. He said, I just want you to know I've been doing this for 10 years. This is the second time there's ever been an ad or anything that had a black person in it.
Wow. That's not.
And this is our neighborhood, right?
Yeah. These are predominantly black and brown neighborhoods that have never had anything like a black and brown tribute, which is sad.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the changes that we make.
Yeah.
The what would we call it? It's not a mural, it's more so the
banners.
The banners.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out the posts. The banners. So tell us what was the initiative behind the banners and why you guys focused on black women.
Well, I'm going to tell you that, but I might have to hide under the mic after I tell you. So the first year, we had a little bit of money left over, and we just did banners. We did 6 banners of black men that were in the Grove Hall Library.
Okay.
So then the second year, we had a little bit of money left over, the same thing. And my boss, who's a woman, she said, we should probably include some women this year.
Yes.
Now, of course, I didn't even think about the fact that we had, the first year was like Don Muhammad, Mel King, that group.
Prominent people, yes.
So it didn't even dawn on me that I had no women.
Yeah.
So I said, instead of doing 3 men and 3 women, I said, what happens if we just do 6 women?
Mm-hmm.
And then as I was talking to people, who should they be? You know, Melina Cass.
Oh,
Emma
yeah,
Lewis.
that would be hard to.
So then I got to like 10. And then before I knew it, I was at the 22. And so I said, what if we do something crazy? So this shows how I'm just going to confess my own ignorance. I said, what if we did something crazy and try to do like 100 black women?
Yeah.
I said, I don't even know if we can find 100, but let's just do 100.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So that's why I thought if we went back to the 1700s to the present and we included those 300 years, we would be able to find enough. So, fast forward, I probably ended up with 600 nominations. We had like 120s and 140s.
So how did the nominations go for it?
Yeah. Well, because we did it through word of mouth. We had ballots in places like Freedom House and the Grove Hall Public Library. We put an ad in the Bay State Banner. And so people were sending them in. We were using people who were subject matter experts, like in Black history. People who had already did prior lists of black women or women, etc. And so eventually we had a list of 600. And
so you went from 6 to 10 to maybe I can get 100 to 600.
600.
So I know this is like a women's show, but I'm just confessing I had no idea there were that many talented black women in the city of Boston.
Wait, you know what? And I'm not mad that you said that, because another list came out the other day, and it was like a list of DJs, and there's no correlation and correlation. But on that list of 25 DJs, there was not one woman included in that. And when I asked the person, they were like, oh, it didn't even occur to me that was something that I needed to be intentional about. So it wasn't like they did it on purpose. And then the other thing is, like, there's so many people here. How do you narrow that down? Because once you start digging, you'll find all of them.
Right. And then you guys, you ended up with a list of 212. That's
how'd you cut that down?
Number is
so
number.
Okay, so what happened was when I got to 100, 120, I was getting over 100, and the problem was it was hard enough to fund the project in the first place. So when I went to a few foundations and I was trying to get money for this, and they're like, okay, so you want to put black women on these banners? That's not really public art, because they were thinking public art was like sculpture and murals and things like that. So they said, well, it doesn't feel like a public art project, and then it doesn't feel like a placemaking project, and it's not really black history. And they're like, we don't know what this project is. So they basically all said no. And so
no.
When I finally got the funding for it, I got funding for the 100 because that was the original idea.
Yeah.
So then, which by the way, I have to think it was Josh Kraft, Bob Kraft from the Kraft Family Foundation and the Patriots. They're the ones that funded it.
Yeah.
Now they were completely the opposite. When they heard about the project, they said, "Is it still available?"
Oh, why did you call me?
Yeah. So, and so I say they have a history of recognizing Hall of Fame players, and this is the Hall of Fame of black women.
Oh, so it kind of works.
Well, I'm just saying, this is the Hall of Fame, because there's women on the list. There's Grammy winners, Emmy winners. There's a Nobel Peace Prize nominee on there. There's a Hall of Famers. So the women that are selected are, again, all these things. So I got the funding. So my funding was only to do 100, and I talked to a colleague and I said, I said, I can't limit it to 100. There's just too many women that actually qualify that need to be the list. And I didn't want it to be the most popular, most influential women.
Yeah.
I wanted all the women who qualified to be there.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't want to take it from 160, which I have now, and try to cut it back to 100. Let's see if I can go over 200. So I informed the foundation. I said, I'm going to expand the project from 100 to 200. I know you only promised to pay for 100, so I will try to make up the difference.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, but I thought to make the difference. And they said, okay. So I then plunged ahead and said, I'm going to do 200. And they're like, okay. And then eventually they said, whatever you don't get will make the difference in terms of that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they were key in being patient, because it took me several years. I started this project in 2019.
The same kind of
This project,
Yeah.
exactly. So it took a long time because you had to do that research.
Mhm.
Everybody that was nominated, you had to figure out who they were.
Yeah.
In other words, not everybody has a Wikipedia page.
Yeah. So that's what. How did you narrow it down?
Therefore, if you Google them,
Yeah.
do I not find information on you because you're not important, or do I
Yeah.
find it because your history wasn't recorded? And so the problem is because I'm doing Black history and history of Black women. History hasn't been kind to Black women.
Mhm.
And so a lot of the achievements that Black women made were never recorded or whatever. So, for example, there's a woman on the list, Madam Johnson. And so she was a hairdresser, Black hairdresser.
Yeah.
And so she had her own hairdressing thing.
Mhm.
She had her own beauty products that she sold nationally. She had a hairdressing school. And at that time, when you went to vote, they wrote down what your occupation was.
Uh-huh.
And so for her, they wrote wife.
Oh.
And so like all of
That's
her,
very interesting too. That's a story for another day. But
so
go ahead.
the point was is that all of her accomplishments as a businesswoman, entrepreneur, were sort of like negated. They weren't captured by history. And so my point was, it took a while to actually research and find people. So a lot of the Black women that you find there, we only found history on them because it was in their obituary. It was in their like funeral bulletin and things like that. So for instance, like there's a woman there that was the first Black woman barber. I didn't even know.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't know why. So, when I talked to her son, I said, why did you want to be a barber as opposed to a beautician? So I thought maybe it was a misprint or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. She was a barber. She wanted to prove that she was just as good as the men.
I hear her.
So she had 2 barber shops.
Wow.
And so she was the first Black woman who was a licensed barber in the state. So we had a barber, we have a police officer, the first Black woman police officer, first Black woman detective, 1st Black woman firewoman, first Black woman.
Is there anything on those signs that help you to be able to figure out who these people are?
Short answer is no.
Okay.
And so someone has suggested, and we're looking into it, whether we put like a QR code at the base of the light, so that you can just scan it.
Because if I'm walking it, I'm thinking now, I was like, if I don't know some of these women, how am I going to find out who they are? Because they are part of our history.
Right.
And then I guess the other question is like, why? I know that there are they're more like characters almost than the still pictures. And I'm guessing because pictures, some people have pictures and some people don't have pictures. Some are long, some are short, some are black and white, some are not. How did you guys come up with doing the caricatures almost?
Thank you. So great question. You're like on top of this. So what happened is when we did the men and we had those 6 and we had 3 different artists, there was a difference in style and difference in quality. So I said, we can't really do that again. So what we did is we picked a style like a template. And therefore we had the artists try to follow the template for creating them.
Yeah, that's smart.
So what I tell people is the project was a little bit difficult. So I found a Black man to do that style, but I couldn't find a Black woman. So we had a call for artists, and we were literally like, we were getting people from Europe or whatever who were submitting. Wow. And so part of the problem for the artists was artists have their own style. Yes. So if I had 2 different artists, then I didn't want it to not look consistent in terms of who was doing what. And also artists tended to want to do caricatures of them. And so the actual style that we have is actually where there's a photo, it's actually a high resolution, like tracing. And then they're coloring it in. But then the other one, so for instance, it goes back to slavery, right? So there's a Phyllis Wheatley, and so there's women from the 1700s. Well, obviously there's no photographs of them.
Yeah.
And so what you see is that we had to have an artist that had the ability of a fine artist, like somebody who could actually really paint and draw and things like that, to create an image of this black woman from that time period. And then we needed somebody who had like the skills of like a commercial artist who really could follow the template. And so that's why every one of those portraits is actually signed by the artist. So the problem, like there were so many things
I see it.
There were so many things that delayed the project, and one was I couldn't find a black woman. So I said, I can't move forward on a project about black women without a black woman artist participating. So, because people said, well, you know, just tell people you couldn't find them. I said, that's what they always say when we're trying to get jobs and get businesses and stuff. Oh, we looked, but we couldn't find anybody.
Exactly.
I said, so I can't be one of those people that said I looked and I couldn't find anybody. So I just kept looking until I found a black woman in Philadelphia, Brianna Young, and she did it. It's great job.
I think
it says here that there are 2 black artists that did it. So Kamali Thornell from Boston and Brianna Young from Baltimore were selected, and they did all of these. Just the 2. That's amazing.
That's really awesome. And then for our kind of like our final question, we think when we think of Black Boston, we have a couple of spots that we think of. Mostly, I think people are going to go down to Nubian Square and then Grove Hall. And then there's Ashmont. There's, Four Corners, all of those things. Why Grove Hall?
That's
for
why,
this.
That's why I'm the executive
That's
director.
true. It's just like, I'm the director over here, so why not?
So it's my street.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So and what was why did you want to do this? Just because you wanted to display black art?
So I think there are several things. One, it had to do with, and the project evolved, like I told you before, but it started out with recognizing these black women. And then because of you were asking about how people got selected and how we narrowed it down. So part of the criteria was things like, the biggest one was if you were the first black woman to do something. So of people who were there's something named after them. So you know how you have people build your buildings are named after you. So usually in some worlds you get your name on the building because you donated $1 million or $10 million. Well, that wasn't going to be our case. So these black women had things named after them, and that was more of a reflection of their community recognizing their contribution, right? So you have like Mildred Haley, you have
Thelma
Jackie
Burns.
Thelma Burns, you have Anna Cole, you have Ellen Jackson, Frederica Williams, Lila Lee Frederick. And so there's like a long list, and there's squares like Bishop Nellie Yarborough Square, Ma Dixon. There's streets named after them. So the idea was if you've got something named after you as a black woman, then you automatically went in. So those are some of the big categories.
Food shelters.
Yeah.
And then there was people who did stuff. So we didn't want to have leadership defined narrowly, like all the judges, doctors, lawyers, professors. So there's a black woman that worked as a foster grandparent till she was 95.
Oh, I forgot. I saw her story somewhere.
And then there's a black woman that had 50 foster children.
Wow.
So what we wanted to do there is he said there's certain people that do things that are very beneficial to the black community, and we have to recognize their leadership for doing that. So that's how we sort of picked and selected and things like that.
And this is not your last go round. You plan to do this again with a whole nother.
If I can raise the money, I want to do another one. Now, some people, again, mistakenly have said, well, won't that degrade the project? Because won't you have to get less qualified people? And I said, you have no idea. I said, if I only picked one black woman a year for the last 300 years, I should have at least, I would have 300 black women. And I said, so you have no idea. And I said, just like the Hall of Fame has like the first round ballot, the second round ballot. I said, they just made the first round. I said, I got a second round group. So for example, I said, Sojourner Truth isn't there. I said, Harriet Tubman isn't there. I Dr. Shabazz, Malcolm X's wife.
They passed through here.
There's a lot of people who I'd love to include.
Coretta up there?
She's not there.
She came through here too.
She didn't make
She made second string. No, but I think that this is a really commendable project, and I think it's something that we do need. I just came across Tina Cherry's name too.
I think up there. Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
I think it's something that we do need, and it is very good inspiration and motivation for the other Black women in this city who are watching.
Well, actually, the thing that was probably the biggest impact for me was the students.
Mm.
So we worked with Mother Caroline Academy. We gave them lists of people, and then they selected it. And what happened is each class came back with a separate list.
Oh, wow.
So that told me that they were engaged, they were discussing. So I said, wasn't that great? You have these young Black women who are now learning about Black history, they're learning about perseverance, learning about resiliency. And I said, so that's why we wanted to make sure we had women from all walks of life, with the point being that no matter what field or career you pick, there's already been a Black woman from this area that's been successful in that. And if there isn't, then you can be the first.
I love that.
I really like the fact that it's in Grove Hall. The fact that Grove Hall historically is our Muslim brothers area. Recently we've lost that kind of history. You don't really see too many of the Muslim brothers over there anymore. So the fact that it's in that area is really dope.
Well, the thing about it is a lot of these Black women had something to do with Grove Hall.
Oh.
And so everybody from Gloria Smith, the co-founder of the Sportsman's Tennis.
Yes.
Ma Dixon, obviously her restaurant was right in that corner. Obviously you'd mentioned earlier the Thelma Burns building, the Hamilton Garrett music thing. There's a Black woman, Dr. Durham. She, at age 21, was the leader of the Black Panther Party in Boston.
Really?
And so she was also from Grove Hall. So literally if you go through the list, so what some people have done is people have looked at the list and figured out how many. So somebody told me
who's missing.
They said, there's 6 people on the list from Jamaica Plain. And I said,
really?
Because they're taking so much pride in terms of who's from our neighborhood.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with a lot of the names. I'm interested to learn the stories about many of them that I'm not familiar with. This is really, really cool.
One of the questions we have here, and this is what Tony just said, is people want to know, this is a pretty big project. This could be something that could be turned into a book, a documentary can follow as well. Do you have plans or anything like that?
Well, there's a couple of things. So the Boston Public Library and Northeastern University have both said they would like to create Wikipedia pages for every woman that's up there, so that people can find out more information.
Oh yeah,
because like I said, some people there's just one mention to them.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. We are in the process now of taking all the images and trying to combine them with like one paragraph about each person, just so you know who they were, what time period, what did they do. We also think we can take that same idea and do like flashcards, like the picture and the front and the information.
That's an awesome idea.
Because what happened was Black teachers, when they heard about us doing the project, when we were doing the nominations, they're the ones that said we would like to have this for the schools. And so their point was they felt that there were more role models for young Black boys than there was for young Black girls. So they wanted to have someone that showed all these Black women from Boston, right? So it's not just the Rosa Parks and the Fannie Lou Hamer. These are all Boston women, and 80 of them are still alive, right? So you could go talk to them.
Oh, really?
So you could go talk to them, meet them. And so we would like to have things like have them come into the schools, like assembly, talk. And when I was at Mother Caroline Academy, one of the things that was interesting was the girls were talking about what's it like to walk down Blue Hill Avenue on your way to school and you have all these Black women working over you every day.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to say that's so good that you teamed up with Mother Caroline because it is an all-girls school.
It's an all-girls
and
school.
So this is
all Black and brown.
Right. And this is so inspirational for them. That's perfect. And it's right there. It's because it is right in front of their school.
So there's a couple
area,
of stories.
Right?
I don't know if I can get too spiritual for you guys, but so one of the things is in the Old Testament when they cross over the Jordan and they stack up these stones and it says, I want you to do this so the people who come after this will always say, what do these stones mean?
Yeah.
And so here it's like these banners, like you said, who are these women?
Yeah.
And then also like in Hebrews when it said we're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. So we've got like all these Black women from the last 300 years of our history sort of testifying, witnessing to our accomplishments, especially in a day and age when people are saying, well, don't be woke and, all that anti-racism, critical race theory, and don't include that in the history and all that. So therefore, we gotta include our own history. We gotta make this happen.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This is so cool. I'm so interested to like go and look up these women now on my own and see who they are. Like most of these names that I'm not familiar with. But this is so good. And I'm anxious to see the next cohort that you do. Who's going to be in that one?
Mr. Gaskin, you're a Boston native, correct?
I'm not a Boston
You're
native.
not.
Where are you from?
I'm from Michigan. I hope you
I went to school in Michigan, so that's good.
Woo! Well, I just been off the hook. If it's okay with you, it's okay with me.
And when did you come into Boston?
So I moved to Boston in 1983 to go to seminary.
Okay.
Good.
And then I moved from the burbage of the Hamilton-Wilmington area into, in fact, the first place I moved when I moved to the city was Mattapan and then Grove Hall.
Oh, okay. So you've been a part of Grove Hall. Means a lot. So
I've been here since '86.
Yeah.
So what made you want to do this? You're not from Boston. You didn't have to do this. Should have. Probably somebody from Boston should have probably done this a long time ago. But you had a fella like yourself. So what made you want to tackle this style?
Again, I think it was just this simple idea. It became much bigger over time, and now I have a thing where I said I call this my Christoph. So if you know who Christoph, he's an artist and he drapes things and he makes big displays. So he did this giant display in Central Park in New York City that's just orange gates. And so I said, this is my Christoph. So if you guys can imagine this, you are at the intersection of Blue Hill and Columbia, and you drive for 2 miles, and all you see are portraits of Black women.
Yeah.
So you know how we were talking about yesterday about not seeing them in terms of our ads and seeing ourselves reflected.
Yeah.
So now that's all you see for 2 miles.
And that's good. Yeah. And it goes, so it's where does it start? And depending on where you go.
Yeah, so it starts at Blue Hill and Columbia, and it goes all the way down to like where Merengue restaurant is.
Oh, okay, wow. Yeah. So that's how I get home. So I always pass by, and every day I'm like, it's 2 miles. You said
2 miles.
I got to walk.
So
that?
People said, and so people even said like it goes on and on and on. So if you're not used to seeing Black people anyway, and now you see 2 miles of them. There's 2 portraits per pole on both sides of the street.
Right. Wow.
And so so I said so that part is my Christoph part, right? This thing that it's so dramatic you can't miss it.
Yeah.
And I've had people in the neighborhood say, "Oh my God, this helps beautify the neighborhood." I've had Black women say, "I want one of these for my home." Yeah. I'm like, "Which one do you want?" Because I'm thinking they're related to somebody. They're like, "Oh no, I'll take any of them because I'm a Black woman. I'm from this neighborhood. I want to see something that says Black women lead every day."
Is there a place that we can go to where we can see the portraits? Because it's kind of hard to see them as you're driving. Is there a place online where all the portraits are there?
There isn't. Okay. I hadn't thought of trying to get them online yet that way, but that's a good idea.
Yeah.
The thing is, I kept having people tell me that they were. I said, "I'll be like, oh yeah, I ran into the tree because I was looking." Right. Because people were saying, well, they're looking to see who they knew, who they didn't know.
Yeah, you can actually. I feel like you should. I feel like we should be encouraging people to actually get out of the cars and actually take that walk because there's another there's an initiative in it we want our people to be healthy. So as we're outside, walking or taking a little 30-minute walk or whatever. We do a tour?
Scavenger hunt.
Oh, fine.
This could be a scavenger hunt in the summertime.
Susan B. Wells.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's there. She's not there.
Yeah. This could actually be a really cool scavenger hunt. Give people, let them know, tell them, hey, find this person, take a picture on what pole, what street it's at, whatever.
We'll give you, if you get 5 of them, we'll give you a fat.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Well, that's interesting because people have asked for a map. Because family and friends like, I want to see my friends, grandmother, whatever. Right. Where is she at? And so on one hand, it's like I want you to see all of them, but they're like they want to go like right to that one.
Right. Yeah.
And then people have been photographing them. They've been posting on social media. Probably Nora Babson, the police officer.
Yeah, I love
she's probably
her.
had one of the most. She's probably had the most response. She's probably had 900 people respond to her.
Yeah, because she's she's our real community officer. Like she exemplifies what it means to be into the community all the time. Like just an overall generally awesome person.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this, and we're gonna figure out a way to encourage people to get out. Maybe we'll have to start something ourselves and then go down there and take a walk. We'll be contacting you for a tour.
Maybe we'll do a tour. We'll do a Spark tour.
Yes,
and we'll start as a group. We'll just go down the street.
Absolutely. Awesome. I'll get that. I'll have that on your desk later today. But Ed, I do appreciate you for the work that you do with Grove Hall, Main Streets in general. And then this project is just very significant and very important to a lot of us Black women out here that are trying to follow in the footsteps. Yes, that are trying to follow in the footsteps of these prominent women that are up on these banners. So every day, not only are we seeing Black faces, but we're also seeing motivation and inspiration as we kind of just get through this journey of life that we have here. So we appreciate you and your team for putting this together and coming to talk to us about it.
So yes, now that you mentioned team, so Jackie Carl Williams is going to appreciate the fact that we just mentioned her.
Hi, Jackie.
So all these things, like I said, part of it had to be research. We had to find photos.
Yeah.
We had to find information, blah, blah. And so just the administrative aspect of trying to deal with all these people and creating a database. So I have to make sure that I acknowledge her because she'd be like, you didn't even mention me.
Yes, we did. So yeah, this is great. I'm like my sister said, I think it's going to be really great to see as you kind of full it up either with the descriptions or a website or whatever you guys decide to do with it, and then seeing what else you do in the future with the other women in this city. So I think it's something that we can look forward to, and I'm excited about it.
Well, I would love to partner with you guys.
Absolutely.
So whatever that means.
Yes.
And so
we'll figure it out.
All right.
We're going to go to a quick, let me see. Yeah, I love Nora. She's the best. And he needs to collab with the tour guide and guys interviewed a while. Yes, we do. Live like a local.
Tours, yeah.
Yes, live like a local tours. We've been talking. So we'll get into that. We'll figure this out for you guys. You guys be on the lookout for a really great collaboration between Main Street, Greater Grove Hall Main Streets, Spark FM, and it's probably some other great community organizations. Ed, again, thank you so much.
Oh, by the way, another thing that's really helpful is that when you have Black groups come to conventions up in Boston, they always ask, what can we do in the Black community? So
yes, walk down the street and see all of our Black women that are out here killing it. Yeah, I love this. We're going to go to another commercial break. We'll take some pictures and sign the wall. And when we get back, we'll get into the national and world news. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We'll see you in a bit.
Woo, woo, woo. You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz. Turn it on.
Turn it up.
This is SparkFMOnline.com.
3, 2, 1.
Silent night, holy night. Drink a rum and a punch up, drink a rum. Drink a rum and a punch up, drink a rum.
Spark FM.
Radio, had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it close.
I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you. Yeah.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from our Spark family to yours.
Did you know that you can now get a standard Massachusetts driver's license regardless of your immigration status? To get help with your application, a list of all required documents, and nearby appointment scheduling, visit mass.gov/WFMA. Your license is your way forward, so why not get started today? Register now at mass.gov/WFMA or call 857-368-WFMA.
Boston Seaport neighborhood has transformed into the Snowport, a fantastical winter wonderland for good times, including gifts, games, art, food, and special events. The Holiday Market is open 7 days a week through December 31st, where you can shop at 100 plus retail stores and enjoy a meal at one of the delicious restaurants. Follow at Seaport Boston and visit bostonseaport.xyz/snowport for more information.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
Moonbox Productions is thrilled to present Legally Blonde, the musical. Perky sorority girl Elle Woods follows her ex-boyfriend to Harvard Law School, where she discovers she's not just pretty, but pretty brilliant and pretty powerful. Opening on December 8th and running through December 31st at the Boston Center for the Arts, Roberts Theater is located at 527 Tremont Street. Tickets are available at bostontheaterscene.com. Tickets range from $45 to $65, and pay what you wish options are available at the box office.
The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM.
Come on.
Spark FM.
Yo, sugar man be ballin'. These chicks pigeon toed. Some of them be crawling.
Spark FM.
Oh gosh, it's me again.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
Trump the Don, back at it again on a Christmas song. Shout out old Saint Nick, Santa Claus, Santa, the big guy, not the big guy you're thinking about. Nasty Nancy inside trading, San Fran is decaying. Homeless people pooping on the slide where kids are playing. Fentanyl and heroin and pedophiles praying. Start another foreign war and you're the one who's paying. All I want for Christmas is these politicians to put America before their foreign vested interests. No more communism, repeal Obamacare. Ain't no more Joe Biden always falling up the stairs. All I want for Christmas is cheap gas and some mean tweets. CNN goes out of business and MSNBC. If the government shut down, we'd probably have world peace. Until then, we're stuck with expensive milk and
Spark FM online. I'm not sure if you guys know what Tristan is playing in the background here, but it's foolishness. And I'm sorry.
Christmas song.
It's a Christmas song. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump Christmas
Donald
song.
Trump. He don't even believe
All I
in
want
Christmas.
for Christmas.
That is
crazy.
what? A clean
All I
record?
want for Christmas, Donald Trump. It's on YouTube.
Ridiculous. It's time for our national and world news. With Tony, what's going on?
Oh my gosh, the world news is out of control. I'm gonna start off with some regular stuff, and then go into the WTF, because it is Wednesday. WTF Wednesday. Joe Biden tells donors he's not sure I'd be running in 2024 if Trump wasn't in the race.
Biden, shut up.
Tell donors he's not sure. What?
He's not sure. He says, I'm not sure I'd be running in the race in 2024 if Trump wasn't in the race. President Joe Biden.
Does he know what? Joe
Democratic donors on Tuesday. He wasn't confident he'd be seeking another term if his predecessor, Donald Trump, wasn't running for the White House, a notably candid assessment of his re-election rationale as he enters a likely rematch with his 2020 rival. If Trump wasn't running, I'm not sure I'd be running, he said, saying Democrats cannot let him win. The comment made during a fundraiser at a private home outside of Boston offered perhaps the starkest rationale to date for Biden's re-election decision-making, and according to sources familiar with the matter, took senior Biden campaign officials and advisors by surprise. Yikes! One top campaign advisor responded upon learning of the comments. The campaign was quick to try to shrug off the president's quip as a nothing to see here moment, pointing out that Biden has always described Trump as a unique threat to the country and that he had expressed similar sentiments about his decision to run for president around the 2020 campaign.
Joe feel like he really the only one out here that could beat Donald Trump.
Yeah, I think Joe feel like he ain't got nothing to lose, so he's just saying things like that. And
It sound
honey,
like it, right?
he's not very popular, right? The polls
No,
are showing
not at all.
that what is it called? His what rate?
Approval.
Popularity rate, approval rate,
Yeah.
whatever, is not very high. And I don't think saying things like this helps.
Me either. I also really am just friggin' confused. How many people live in America?
A lot.
There ain't no other body in this whole entire place that is a favorable person to run on either side of this race.
Like Carlos was explaining to us.
What's his name? But see, he running as
Up in New Hampshire.
You talking about Cornel West?
Cornel West?
But he
No.
running as an independent.
Cornel- I
He
don't-
should have been running as a Democrat.
I don't take Cornel West seriously at all for the president of the United States of America. This is what I'm talking about. We keep on being faced, not saying that Cornel West is but we keep on being faced with characters of who people think we need in office versus just really good people that have good policies and could run a country. I don't even think that it's that hard of a job, because if Donald Trump could do it for 4 years, then that means that somebody else that's good. Why don't Jeff Bezos run or something like that? Like, nobody don't want to run.
There has to be, but as Carlos said to us the other day, because I think we asked that when we were talking with Carlos the other day, and he said that it's frowned upon for other Democrats to run against the current sitting president.
And so frowned upon.
You know that Democrats are very soft, right?
Yes.
And so they're not going to ruffle the feathers or whatever. But this is awful.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, it's frowned upon, but we're all frowning on the Democrats in general. So maybe y'all should shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, something has to happen, because
do a little something else. Switch it up.
Who gonna lead us?
That's what I'm saying. We don't have no viable contenders to actually lead this free world.
Yeah.
I don't even understand it. Run as soon as, like in my head, as soon as Biden, as soon as we elect whoever's in office, the Democrats need to start figuring out who's going to be running next. If this man is he going to run for a second term? If so, they should start grooming that person from that point. As far as if we get a Democratic president in office, as soon as we get that, they should already be grooming a second person to take over right after.
Something. I don't feel good. I don't feel good about the quick update about the carjacking of the FBI agent that happened in Washington, D.C. They've now arrested a teen. A teen has been arrested for the carjacking of the FBI agent. The documents, we already know all about the story about what happened on the 29th. The FBI agent was taken and was carjacked. The agent described the gunman as a male, skinny, 16 to 17 years old, approximately 5'9" to 5'10" in height, wearing a blue ski mask with a blue puffer coat and possibly a hat. So now they have taken in this teenager. They have very clear pictures of who did the carjacking. Investigators later found the agent's car in a South alley. The document said the investigators got video footage around 4:00 p.m. The court document said that on November 30th, MPD's Command Information Center, identifying one of the suspects as a 16 or 17-year-old, the tipster said that the two who were involved were in the area. They've now made an arrest of a 17-year-old, Devontae Lynch, who was the only person at home at the time. He's being held in youth service center pending trial and is being charged as an adult. The court documents did not give any further information. So a 17-year-old has been arrested. Seeking the truth. This story is so devastating. Seeking the truth. A mom demands answers after her teen daughter dies in the custody of a Tennessee group home. So I was never supposed to bury my kid, said the mother of Allegend Jones. Shiana Garner White says she is seeking the truth nearly 2 weeks after her 17-year-old daughter died while in the custody of a Tennessee group home she had voluntarily sent her to for help. Garner White held a news conference in Memphis on Wednesday along with her attorney Benjamin Crump. Ben Crump, how
He's everywhere.
How he get to be everywhere? You think Ben Crump is AI?
It has to be because Ben Crump don't have no. I know he got workers and he got a whatever, but they always name Ben Crump. They don't say Timothy Smith from the Ben Crump organization
or the Ben Crump
attorney
legal
organization.
Office. Yeah, right. Like it's always Ben Crump. He always there. He always alongside the people. So along with her attorney Ben Crump and other family members demanding answers on behalf of her daughter. Go ahead.
That Youth Village is a facility that's supposed to be trained in dealing with troubled youth. You're going to hear Shauna talk to you. That's why she sent her daughter there, so that they can help her.
She was 17.
And it's not only that Ben Crump be called, but he be there as well.
Yeah, that's
he
what I'm
shows
saying.
up.
That's why, there has to be more than one of him.
And now they're sending my
They
baby
clone
back
Ben
to the
Crump.
casket. Youth Village is supposed to help my kid. I'm never supposed to bury my kid. My kid is supposed to bury me. That's first and foremost.
Amen.
A legend was born 2 months early. She fought
a legend
to live.
That's the child's name is A Legend.
So she could survive. I never thought in 17 years I'd be burying my child.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently. So what is the story here? What happened? She held a news conference. She said that, but Garner White and Crump alleged the doctors told the family the teenager likely died from a brain bleed. So it says that a legend who died on November 17th at the hospital after being taken there from the Youth Village's facility in the Memphis suburb of Bartlett. Officials at the youth home said the teen died from a medical emergency while under their guardianship. Crump, a national civil rights attorney, alleged that Jones suffered fatal injuries under suspicious circumstances, claiming there was swelling in her head and bruises the mother said she found on her daughter in the hospital. So yes, the 17-year-old Alleged Jones has died in custody, and they are demanding answers. Results of an autopsy performed by the Shelby County medical examiner have not been released. Crump said the family has retained a forensic pathologist to conduct an independent autopsy, adding his team is putting the puzzle together to get the truth so we can get justice for this child, this 17-year-old child. Awful.
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. It seems to me like the same situation that's happening in Lawrence. She may have been jumped and beaten in this group home, which is what these kids seem to be doing now. A Texas student disciplined for the length of his locks hairstyle returns to class only to be suspended again. This is our same young boy who they suspended him from school. They sent him to a program.
When I saw the headline for this, I was a little confused. I guess at this point, we're just trying to prove a point.
Yep.
And we're trying to stick through this so that he can be a martyr of some sort or whatever. But I mean, I don't believe that my son should have to go through all this. There's just other schools.
These are traumatic events that are happening in this young man's life. And he can eventually snap and not do well. I don't know. Reading that kind of reminded me of, what was the boy, Kareem Broder, the one who they had sent to jail for the backpack, and then he came out, but then he was never right, and then ended up killing himself, right?
Yep.
You're traumatizing this boy. A Black Texas high school student who repeatedly disciplined by his school over the length of his locks hairstyle returned to regular classes Tuesday after spending 30 days at an alternative school. He was then suspended again for refusing to cut his hair to comply with the dress code policy his family says is discriminatory. On Tuesday morning, Darrell George, 18, briefly attended class at Barbers High School.
Exactly.
Before a school administrator referred him to an in-school suspension, according to Candace Matthews, a spokesperson for the family. A copy of the school's referral notice obtained by CNN states Darrell's hair is out of compliance with the BH dress code when let down. If Darrell corrects his dress code violation, he will be allowed to return to his regular classes. George will remain suspended for 13 days, the notice states. Allie Booker, an attorney for George and his family, said she is working to try to get the suspensions stopped. George's latest suspension followed 3 months of disciplinary action for violating the school's district's dress code, which states a male student's hair cannot be worn in a style that would allow the hair to extend below the top of a t-shirt collar, below the eyebrows, or below the earlobes when let down. In October, David Bloom, a spokesperson for Barbers Hill Independent School District, told CNN George was referred to a disciplinary alternative education program, also known as an alternative school, for 30 days for multiple infractions, including failing to meet the school's dress code requirements. The foolishness that the extra foolishness about this is that he wears his hair up.
I'm sorry, are the phone's working? Shakay tried to call in. She kind of tried to call.
Try again.
He wears his hair up all the time. It's never let down. They're judging him on what would happen if
it's just Groundhog Day.
The hair is
because we keep on doing the same thing over again, expecting that something is going to change.
And this is the same young man.
This young boy, they are not going to let. Somebody got to fold, and unfortunately, they're not going to fold. So I'm not really completely understanding why we are still here.
Also, didn't we learn about this story too, that like the day after they suspended him the first time that the Crown Act went into effect where they are? So why are they allowed to suspend him again for the same thing?
Because he is a black boy. And privilege is a real thing. And once we realize that other people have, because if it was a little white boy that had his little, soup bowl haircut and things like that over his eyes, they wasn't going to say nothing to him.
Yeah.
This boy is freshly locked up. He's got his edges done, all kinds of stuff. Probably even paste him down a little bit, wear his do-rag.
Yeah.
And then you guys are going to keep on suspending him. So what is the point of him going to school? Is the boy learning anything at this point?
No, and he's traumatized. How can he learn anything? This is awful for this little boy. Camera off me so I can adjust my bra.
What? Adjust your bra?
I said, get the camera off me so I can adjust. But anyway, I'm gonna fix it anyway. Moving on, because this is just, again, like Tristan said, is this Groundhog Day? We're gonna keep revisiting this thing over and over again.
Somebody get it. Sign this kid. Give him a do-rag deal. Something.
Yeah, because at this point there should be other schools that are like, hey, I see what's going on. He can come here to this preparatory school for free.
Yeah, and why are you doing this? And I don't know. For some reason, I kind of feel like, why are the parents? I understand the parents have to be staunch and stand their ground, but why are you letting your son go through this?
How long has this been going on?
It's
2 years.
It first happened.
Last year.
Yeah, I think it was this year, like the beginning of this year, but at least last school year. Right?
Again, I'm asking, what is he learning if he's always suspended from school for his hair?
Yep.
At what point do we let go of the cause and we say, all right, we can be active and we can set a precedent that we just demand more for our child, and while he goes to school somewhere else, we will still deal with this.
Why can't they sue?
They have. In September, his family filed
got money, right?
a federal civil rights lawsuit against Texas Governor Greg Abbott, the state's attorney general, and the school officials for allegedly failing to enforce the state's Crown Act law. Bloom, who is the school representative or superintendent, whatever, told CNN the George family have been told repeated violations of their school dress code could result in continued disciplinary action. Until he cuts his hair or we get a court ruling to the contrary, he will stay in school suspension. But he added that his suspensions will not affect his ability to graduate. Yes, it will, because he's not learning anything.
Am I stupid? I've got to be stupid. How would his suspension, what is this, in-school suspension?
In-school suspension.
What the hell is the point of in-school suspension? If you don't want me in the school because of my hair, what is suspending me inside of the school?
What's in-school suspension?
That's when you sit in school.
You sit in the school.
So they're saying that they're giving him all his homework and stuff in school.
All his schoolwork he's going to have in school. He just can't learn with his friends.
He just ain't getting taught. He's just getting to work.
So I get to be in solitary confinement for my hair?
Yeah.
See, this is why I will never, I don't say I will never, but this is why I refuse to move to certain states like Texas. Florida.
Yeah.
Because of their laws and all this other shite.
Foolishness.
I'm not doing it to myself.
Yeah, crazy.
First of all, every school has a handbook. Read it. If there's something in there that you don't agree with, don't send them there. Yeah. I mean, as a parent, this is a tad bit of a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
Because
It's too
again,
much.
there are other schools.
There's many other schools.
There's many other schools. And if you don't feel good with the public school system, instead of sacrificing this boy's mental health, maybe you should sacrifice a few coins and send him to a private school in which he can wear his hair as please.
You're trying to prove a point for the greater good, but you're sacrificing your son's mental health, and that's not okay.
I'm going to do some research on this, a little deeper dive to figure out if they do address the fact of why they haven't changed schools, because now I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah.
I'm a tad bit concerned.
And it's sad because their mom is saying they're not going to back down. I don't care what tactics they try. We are not backing down.
Yep.
But lady, I don't know.
Yep. Your son is being used as a pawn in this whole thing, and I think it's awful. Hundreds of New York City bodega workers become legal gun owners through a secret society. Do you want to play the story on this? Because I'm not sure.
What does it say? Read it to me again so my brain can register.
I don't like this. The United Bodegas of America announced on Sunday it formed a secret society after the pandemic for bodega workers and owners across New York City to legally obtain a concealed carry license. You may be walking into the wrong bodega because now we have the same firepower you have.
I like
That's what
it.
They said.
I don't know.
I like it.
I
You
like
gotta
it.
Protect yourself.
The amount of robberies that happen to convenience store owners, the amount of violence, and also the amount of deaths that we have talked about, the amount of people who have sought refuge in a convenience store with no way for them to help you. All the movies that we watch with all these people is getting stolen and you can't say nothing to it.
I have questions.
What's the question?
Can you play the story and then
we have the story? Yeah. Let's ask questions.
Yeah, and then let's.
Here goes the clip.
Hundreds of bodega workers are now legally licensed to carry concealed guns. The group says this is in an effort to deter deadly crimes from taking place in their stores. Michelle Ross explains.
Owners say that they have created the secret society of gun owners because they're now taking their safety into their own hands. Now, this isn't to have a permit to kill, but a permit to defend themselves.
Anyone that's out there looking to
the Dominican run it.
Hurt us, kill us. Beware, you may be walking into the wrong bodega. Because now we have the same firepower you have.
Hundreds of bodega owners in New York City are now legal gun owners. This was nearly a 2-year process, and the United Bodegas of America says it took this long because they wanted to do it safely, legally, and secretly. And the knowledge of which bodega owners carrying a concealed gun will be kept a secret.
Good.
You don't want anyone to shoot you before they rob you, because they know you have a weapon.
The announcement was made at the UBA headquarters in Inwood, where the courses are held by duly authorized instructors like Johnny Nunez. He's a retired NYPD sergeant and former police academy instructor.
Having a firearm is a defensive tool. It's a defensive tool. It's not an offensive tool to be used when your life or the life of another human being is, and keywords, imminent danger.
The group says its only intended use is to prevent themselves or someone in their store from getting killed. In 2015, Junior Guzman Feliz, the 15-year-old boy who was brutally murdered in the Bronx,
That's who I was
shelter
talking
in a
about.
bodega before he was dragged out and killed. Last summer, Jose Alba was working behind the counter of a Harlem bodega when this person aggressively shoved him. Alba fatally stabbed the man in self-defense.
They're not out here to provoke any incidents. We are trained to de-escalate situations, but we are also trained to use a firearm if we have to.
Barbara Moretta has owned a bodega since 2015. She's considering applying for a license through the group.
When they see a woman, they think they can do everything, But if I have my gun, so I think it's better for the store.
And as more bodega owners apply and obtain their permits within this secret society, it will remain a secret society. Reporting in Washington Heights, Michelle Ross, Fox 5 News.
I love it for a couple of different reasons. You don't know where you're walking into, so don't go acting crazy in any of them. they are legally obtaining their license and legally
Mhm.
obtaining guns in order to defend their business.
Yeah.
And that's actually what the Second Amendment right is supposed to do, for you to be able to protect yourself, your business, and your family.
Yeah.
And if they're doing this through a secret society, that means that they must be getting actually trained on how to use, operate, and diffuse situations. So I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
I think
I
every
just-
business owner should have one.
The only thing I think about is them thinking a group of kids come in and they're rowdy or whatever, and what I'm thinking of is people mistaking the kids for whatever, and that's what I'm thinking about.
I mean, well, he did mention, and as Sas just said, that they are trained to de-escalate the situation. They're not trained to kill; they're trained to protect themselves.
That's cops, yeah, but
no, not cops. Those the bodega.
Everybody's trained to, yes, but we all know how people are.
I'm referring to the story here, and the man who was representing the secret society said that they have been trained to de-escalate the situation.
He did. He said that. He said
Yeah.
that's what, when you go take these classes, they actually train you to do
I
that.
know what
Yeah.
they do, but when you are at the moment, everything goes out the window. If you're not thinking about your training,
It depends
some
on
people
how
are,
much
some
you
people
train.
aren't.
If it become muscle memory, then that's what you think about. But if you just go to one training and you be like, I've been trained, that's different.
Yeah.
But this sounds like this society is moving in a way to protect them. So they're probably going through extensive training in order to protect their store.
Right. And they're doing it in a legal way and in a structured way, so that in order to protect themselves in more ways than one, which I think is pretty cool. AOC claims that women will face doctor exams if biological men are barred from female sports. What is she saying here? What is she saying? She thinks that biological men should be able to, so trans women should be able to participate in female sports, I think is what she's saying.
Yeah, so if you were born a man and transitioned to a woman, she feels that you should be able to participate in biological women's sports.
I think it's what she's saying. Squad Representative Alexandria AOC claimed that all underage women will face genital examinations if biological men are barred from women's sports. AOC made her claim during the Tuesday House Oversight Committee on Health hearing featuring NCAA swimming legend and sports advocate Riley Gaines. The New York Democrat said there are several proposals looking to marginalize transgender Americans before claiming during her questioning that women would have to get their pants checked if someone believes their stated gender. We are talking about opening up all women and girls to genital examinations when they are underage, potentially just because someone can point to someone and say, I don't think you are a girl, she claimed.
Can't you do that either way? Either way, isn't that what could happen?
I think she's taking it a little too far. And you know what aggravates me? People making precedents based on hypothetical situations.
Yeah.
That really bothers me.
Yeah.
It bothers
because
me.
if I don't think that you're a girl, ain't I'm a check anyhow. Like, I don't know.
When they're deciding about what your gender is in these type situations, don't they go by what it states on your birth certificate?
No, because that's your biological whatever.
Right. So that's what she's saying. That she's saying, basically saying, like, we're gonna have to take down your pants to see if you have a penis or
no, because I think she did. I think she went too far, like you said.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they would. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
I think this is crazy.
And she said, we're saying that this is an environment of a post-Dobbs America where states are criminalizing access to abortion and want nothing more than data on women to figure out when, who's getting a menstrual cycle, who doesn't have one, and we're supposed to believe this is going to make us better and safer. I don't know. That sounds crazy to me. It all sounds crazy to me. I don't think that. I think she took it. She took it too far.
Schneider's a jackass. What is it? What is it? I can't see it.
Snyder said in the future, Joanna Man will be considered a documentary.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, you might have a point. I'm trained to wipe after pooping, and have got chocolate on my hand. Haven't got chocolate on my hand yet. Oops, spoke too soon.
Terrible.
What?
Y'all just be saying anything in the comment section sometimes. Okay, I see what we're doing here.
Who said that?
Uncle Grandpa.
Oh, well, you know. Uncle Grandpa. Shocking video shows a white cop laughing while using a stun gun on a black man. And, that.
These next couple of stories are really
Yep,
wild.
these next couple of stories. This is it. WTF. So the white cop is laughing while using a stun gun on a black man. If you want to quickly show that video, what is happening here? A white police officer in Alabama has been placed on leave after she was caught on video laughing while using a stun gun on a handcuffed black man during a traffic stop. The viral clip shows the reformed cop leading Micah Washington, 34, of Tuscaloosa to her cruiser and pushing him against the hood on December 2nd.
Another place that I'm not
Here we
going to
go.
is
Yep.
Tusca friggin'
Yep.
Luska,
Yep.
bro. I'm not going to Tuscaloosa.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm not shocked and or surprised by this behavior.
Yeah.
It's Tuscaloosa.
Yep. She is seen holding a stun gun against the suspect's back as she goes through his pockets and tells him to stay still. I ain't doing ish, bro. I got a gun right there, Washington says. This is what he says. Okay.
All right. Warning, graphic content warning.
Go
warning,
ahead.
warning.
Go ahead. Warning. Distressing content. Distressing content. Here he is on the ground. She picks him up. She's leading him towards her car. He does have the handcuffs on.
Right there on the front of the car.
She places him against the hood of her car.
Why was he pulled over?
I don't.
Street.
I ain't doing shit, but I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so he admits to her that he has a gun right there.
Oh my God! Okay, down, oh my fault. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, why did she do that? Okay.
You want it again? Shut the up. You was big and bad. Shut your bitch ass up.
Oh.
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 Did she not know? Because that wasn't even dash cam. Who was recording that? Did she not know it was being
This
recorded?
is what I want to know.
What happened?
Did we not? The camera was following the situation. Who the F was recording? And if it was another police officer and you sitting there recording that, you don't think that she go, were you trying to get her? Y'all, was this a setup? Was this a setup?
Was this a setup? He admits that he had a firearm on him. So when he says, I ain't doing nothing, I have a gun right here, he's admitting that he has a firearm on him.
Yes.
She laughs, removes the firearm, and says, oh yeah, then she proceeds to deploy her stun gun, even though he is handcuffed and up against the hood of her car, and admitted that he had a gun. I'm telling the people who didn't see what happens. In a joint statement Monday, Reform Police Officer Richard Black and Mayor Melody Davis said they were aware of the video involving a citizen's arrest that took place on Saturday. The department is in the process of turning over all materials related to this arrest of the Alabama State Bureau of Investigation and has requested a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the arrest. Washington was charged with obstructing governmental operations, resisting arrest, marijuana possession, drug trafficking, and possessing a firearm as an ex-felon. On Monday night, the suspect's loved ones and community members gathered near City Hall to protest the shocking arrest and demand accountability. She tased him right in the back and she was holding it. She was just holding it there until he started crying. She said the incident began when her boyfriend and two others were changing a car tire. When I seen it, I couldn't do it. She didn't pull them over.
They was minding their business changing a tire.
Yep.
Yeah. And why did they get pulled over?
What I say. I stick what I say.
Wow, I'm sure that we'll hear more of this story.
So what did she put? Why did she stop? She didn't stop to help them. I also be a little afraid of them little white women's cops.
Yeah,
because I feel like they got a lot to prove, and they go through a lot in the academy. So when they come out, they got to prove that they tougher than everybody, and they be like the most bitch asses. And I'm gonna call her a bitch ass.
She called him a bitch ass
because she shouldn't have. You can't. That's not language that you supposed. In 911, do you remember that episode when one of them was trying to save somebody? Marjan was trying to save somebody, and she said, "This crazy lady won't come on." They were able to sue the department and get mad money, almost face firation because they're supposed to be in charge of keeping the mind, body, and soul safe or something like that. Firation. Which is crazy because she's emotional distress.
I mean, in the interest of time, like I said, the rest of the stories are very WTF. Do y'all want me to go on with the WTFs? Okay, all right. A man shoots a woman performing oral sex.
Okay.
And admits to murdering someone to his father.
Say it one more time.
A man shoots woman performing oral sex and admits to murdering someone to his father. A man has been charged with murder after killing a woman who allegedly made him feel suspicious while performing oral sex. Demarion Kalen Bible, 25 of Minneapolis, is charged.
Hold on. Let's take some time and we're going to pull that back.
Oh, my.
¿Qué es el name?
Demarion.
Kalen.
Bible.
Bible. B-I-B-L-E.
B-I-B-L-E.
Yes, that's the book for me.
That's
Biblioteca.
the book for me. Not biblioteca. That's library.
Oh, that's...
Of Minneapolis is charged with second-degree murder after the deadly shooting near Lake Street on Tuesday morning. According to charging documents, witnesses reported to police that they had heard a gunshot in the courtyard of the address around 5:45 a.m. when they saw a man walking north. After that, using surveillance footage, investigators were able to follow a suspect from Lake Street and all these things. Speaking to authorities, Bible initially claimed he was not involved in the shooting, but later admitted that he was once shown the video footage. He admitted it once he was shown the video footage. He then admitted to shooting the victim, saying she made him feel suspicious while performing oral sex. After the sex act was complete, Bible said he continued to feel suspicious, so he shot her. Gunshot residue was located on her sweatshirt hood, according to the police, and he admitted to shooting her from inches away. Once arrested, Bible was given a phone to make calls to his parents, during which he told his dad that he had just murdered someone and that he knew he murdered someone and that he knew he wasn't God, but he had to do it. A search warrant was executed to his apartment, and a 9mm handgun with no serial number was recovered, along with a .22 caliber. He is currently in custody. He was suspicious of what?
He was suspicious of being crazy. He's a psychopath.
Sus.
I don't understand.
Suspicious. All right, that's that one. A Florida teacher elbows a student during a basketball game, knocking out his tooth in an alleged fit of anger. A Florida teacher.
I don't know.
A Florida teacher has been charged with child abuse and battery after elbowing a student, knocking out a tooth while playing basketball and throwing the ball at the boy during the game. James Bellany was taken into custody Monday and allegedly admitted to the incident. Officers were initially called to the home and told by the 12-year-old boy's mother that he'd been struck by a teacher at his school. She said she was shown a video of Bellamy and the boy playing basketball. Footage of the incident shows Bellamy throw a ball at the boy and later elbow him in the mouth, resulting in one of the child's teeth being knocked out. The child confirmed what happened to the officers. He said that Bellamy had gotten angry at him because the teacher believed the boy intentionally struck his arm or head while they were playing. The child told officers Bellamy called him back out onto the court and then threw a ball at him, but he was able to duck and not get hit by it. The child said he and Bellamy then started playing, and then Bellamy struck him in the face with his elbow, which knocked his tooth out. The officers visited Bellamy, who confirmed what had happened. He said the boy hit him and that he called him back onto the court. He said he threw the ball at the child, but it was not intentional. He is being held in local jail on no bail.
12 years old.
And the school is not responding to requests for comments.
Well, that school needs to be talked to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you want to just give...
No. We don't got time for that. Keep going.
Mom is getting dragged online for how she...
I'm saying, do you want to just read the headline so we could go into the entertainment?
Oh, yeah.
We can. I don't think the entertainment is not very entertaining. There's only one story that I pushed up there that you can just go into. Jonathan Majors.
Oh, yes. Okay. So what about the man convicted of murdering two sisters who he believes stole his wallet that turned out to be behind his TV?
What makes you think that they stole your wallet so bad that you had to murder them? You had to murder them before you looked properly around your home.
Yeah. Alabama. Jurors in Alabama are convicted a man of murdering two half-sisters he believed had stolen his wallet. His mother called him after the killings to say she discovered the missing item behind his television in the living room. He said, I just got two bodies for nothing. And now he said that? He said that. He said, I just got two bodies for nothing. And now he's going to serve a life sentence without parole after jurors took less than an hour to reach their verdict.
How much he had in his wallet?
I don't know.
For that he felt like it was proper, that it was a proper response to kill two people over the contents of your wallet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless it was $2 million in his wallet.
Yeah.
Everything in that wallet could have been replaceable.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Nothing. There was a thing in this article. It says woman posed as homeschooled 14-year-old to have sex with boys.
So the two sisters, the slain sisters with bags on their head were dumped off a bridge after he shot and killed them.
So not only did he shoot and kill them, but he shot, killed them, and then threw them off of a bridge because of a wallet that he
put bags on their head.
Put bags on their head.
Shot and killed them.
Because you're part of the freaking cartel.
And then threw them over. And then his mother found the wallet behind the TV. And Jonathan Majors' ex, this is our entertainment segment of WTF. Jonathan Majors' ex, Grace Jabari, testifies she went out to a birthday party after their fight. I didn't want to be alone. The Creed actor, Jonathan Majors, allegedly struck Grace Jabari in the head after she saw a text message from another woman on his phone. Where's the headline that you found yesterday, though, about Jonathan Majors' story?
Jonathan, this is... well, it was everywhere. Because everybody was like, you already went to...
The entertainment
Just
the Roach
one. Oh, I didn't do the Roach one. Oh, I thought you wanted me to skip that. Do you want me to do the Roach? Okay.
Because I was trying to find that
story. A mom is getting dragged online for how she reacted to finding a roach in her daughter's McDonald's Happy Meal. This is a real story. In 2021, in Popeyes, I don't know what that. But what's the protocol if a restaurant has roaches and one of these roaches becomes part of a customer's meal? This became the reality for one mom who, after she found a roach in her daughter's Happy Meal at McDonald's. I found a roach in my food at McDonald's, in my bag of food at McDonald's one time.
I absolutely remember
She shared a video confronting the staff about it, but not everyone who viewed it seemed to have sympathy for her. In fact, many started taking jabs at her as a parent.
Here we go.
Go ahead. Let's play the video, please.
All right. It's on the
Come
screen.
on, Kayla.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
What happened? It's gone. It's in logging.
Oh
We
my
can hear
goodness.
¿Qué te pasa?
Come here.
I wonder why everybody video records everything all the time from
Yeah.
the time that
Excuse
they
me?
discovered.
You guys may not want to eat here. There's a roach in here.
Oh,
I'm scared.
shit.
Look
She
up
seen
the
a roach?
No. Where'd you see it?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can play it from the beginning.
The roach came out?
Yeah,
No.
no, you saw the roach in the bag.
Excuse me.
It's huge.
Hold on.
Excuse me.
I'll play it so y'all can see it. All right, here we go. What would y'all do if y'all found a roach? What did you
I did
do?
find a roach. I called them and I was like, hello, I just found a roach in my bag. And the girl was like, ew.
Oh my
and I was like,
goodness.
yeah, you think?
Here we go. Y'all ready?
Oh my goodness.
Look at it.
Oh, Nick, no. Oh.
And they done ate.
They the
damn
baby
near
done ate probably
all
more
food.
roaches. That's wild.
Child.
That's crazy.
Child.
You see the video now, right?
Yeah. That's crazy. No, I don't need to see no more. I seen what I had to see.
So
No,
I want to know what her reaction was because she's being
Yeah.
dragged for her reaction.
Is it that she went and said y'all
Excuse
might
me?
not want to eat here?
What?
You
Let's
guys
see
may
what she
not want to
says.
eat here. There's a roach in here. I'm scared. Lift up the napkin. Excuse me. Excuse me. Lift up this napkin. Lift up the napkin. I gave it to my baby.
Okay.
She's touching it again. She keeps on. Sorry about
I'm
that.
shaking.
I'm sorry about this.
She ate a nugget already.
Oh no.
I'm so scared.
Okay, Karen.
Yeah, Karen. She okay.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
Karen.
Yeah. I'm scared. I'm scared. So the comment section is like, "Girl, stop with the theatrics. Every restaurant has roaches." Somebody said, "I think
Because
it's
now it went from concerning to now it's stupid.
Somebody said, "I think it's from your car, not from McDonald's." And then somebody said, "No, but the roach was the healthiest thing she could have eaten at McDonald's, to be honest."
And that little girl did not give a goddamn. She's like, okay, now that y'all discovered the roach, give me
Push
my
it to the
nuggets.
side. Push it to the side. People said, "Why you're overreacting? Roaches are harmless." All kinds of things. So they were dragging her. You really should worry about the garbage food you're feeding your kid. Nah, that was here in the box. Nah, she put that roach in there. Screw what y'all talking about. That McDonald's super clean. We ain't falling for that.
And you know, like I'm not gonna give the McDonald's the blind because that's disgusting.
Yeah.
And you should be concerned about it. But why are you scared? Why are you so scared? Like, what are you so scared? What do you think is gonna happen to the baby? You know how much roaches that baby has probably eaten in her days from just looking at it and just. I mean, the babies be doing whatever they want to eat. Okay, that's crazy.
They sure do. They sure do. That baby probably would have played with that roach as she ate.
Exactly.
She was like, "Look, I got a live toy."
What you do when you had your roach?
I took it back to them and I got my money back, and they were offering me free food. They were like, "Oh, we can give you more. We can like redo your order." No.
Wanda said, "Oh man, Happy Meal free forever."
That's what I mean. I would take it. Oh, I found a roach once, but I got Happy Meals for free.
Yeah, for Happy Meal for life. Yeah, they didn't offer me that though.
And in our last WTF story, Jonathan Majors probably was mad at his white girlfriend because she wouldn't behave more like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama.
Say what you said to me again.
So during the second day of the Jonathan Majors assault trial, his girlfriend Grace Jabari detailed what happened in their past relationship. Jabari claims that Majors first became angry with her in December 2021 and described several instances of him being mean or aggressive. In the incident, she was going to meet his dogs. Jabari said Majors gave her specific instructions for behaving around the dogs. During the incident, she told Majors how an ex had a dog and that she said Majors became angry and raised his voice. Jabari told the jury, "It was the first time I felt scared of him." As she continued her testimony, she described the time in June 2022 when she went to a festival with poor cell phone reception and the Creed actor was not very nice about it. The jury also heard a recording of Majors shouting at her, demanding she behave like Coretta Scott King or Michelle Obama. In the recording, Majors allegedly said, "I'm a great man. I do things for my culture and for the world. The woman that supports me needs to be a great woman," he added. 2 nights ago, you did not do that, which took away from the plan. In addition, Jabari claimed that Majors would get upset with her and would threaten suicide. We'll keep you updated as more of the information goes. But, you know, I just feel like his first mistake in wanting a Michelle Obama / Coretta Scott King, you know, came when he don't see color.
Right. I mean, right.
Why are we not seeing color?
But isn't Jonathan Majors famous for saying that black women just aren't his aesthetic prior to dating Megan Good?
Well,
being heavenly like them.
Maybe black women other than Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama don't do it for him. Had it been them two specifically, perhaps.
No, I don't think he's talking about I think he's talking about how they carry themselves. Period. That's it. I think he is thinking about, he said it took away from the plan, meaning I think he wants himself to be like a very, I don't know.
Jason, you missed the whole point. This is a white woman that he's comparing to Coretta Scott King.
I know.
There's a lot of white women in this world like Jill Biden or Moulin. What's the Trump name? Moulin Rouge. Like,
no, I don't think it's Moulin Rouge.
What is it?
That's what it is. I don't think it's that.
I don't know. He's a weird guy. That's weird. That's a weird statement.
I just wouldn't have gone there. I would have been
I was trying to process what you were saying.
Because he just wants her to be wholly like them.
Then say somebody like Helen Keller or like
I don't know any white
or
Mother Teresa.
Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa, Kelly Clarkson.
Where you come from with these two? She don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
Who
And
and Obama.
Michelle Obama.
I mean, she don't know who they are. He could have said Oprah. She might be a little familiar with Oprah.
He couldn't have said anybody that's not white. You cannot expect this white woman to have the grace, pizzazz, and style of a black woman.
Halle Helen no more. Helen is
Halle Berry is a whore. Let me stop. Let me stop. I love me some Halle Berry, but
Halle
Halle, he could have said Sierra or Beyonce or something. No.
White woman.
He couldn't have said any of them. He could have said, what's his name? What's the little one who's dating Travis Kelce?
Taylor Swift.
Travis Kelce girlfriend. He could have said her.
No, but I'm trying to think of like a black woman that's, Paula Patton.
Who's that?
She's Robin Thicke's ex-wife.
Oh,
you don't say
black.
that one, or say Megan, Princess Megan.
Yeah,
Meghan
Markle.
Yeah, Markle.
Meghan Markle.
Yeah, say a white woman who passes for a black woman who passes for white.
Yeah.
But don't just go straight to the blackest women.
To the blackest women. Coretta Scott King,
And Michelle
the
Obama.
wife of Martin Luther King Jr. And the wife of Barack Obama, the first black ass president of the United States. That's crazy.
Obama.
Do you think he said that?
No. I don't think he
Do
said
you think
that.
that's what he wanted?
I don't think
No.
But maybe it is what he wanted because he went and found him a nice black woman who could actually emulate either one or two black women. So this is not, you effed up from the beginning. You didn't get what you wanted.
What I think is so interesting is her last name is Jabari. So she's like from the Jabari tribe or something like that. Maybe that's why he thought.
Maybe she's South African.
Oh, maybe she might. Listen, we got to get off this radio show.
Sorry,
Helen Jabari. What's her name? Helen Jabari. Grace Jabari.
That's a very black ass name. Maybe he is colorblind and he didn't know that she was white.
I saw a post the other day in my black women's group, and the woman was like, "I'm African and my husband is clear, and my name is Clear. My husband is American, and he's always making fun of my name." And people were like, "Yeah, because Clear is not necessarily a black name.
Yeah.
That's why, whatever." But yeah, her name is Grace Jabari. She got a black name, so maybe he thought that's why he could ask her
He didn't know.
to act like a black woman.
He didn't know that she was white. And I make that mistake all the time. I sometimes identify as a white woman too. So maybe if he had dated me, he would have requested the same thing. Like me be like, what's her name? Melania Cass. What is Trump's name?
He would have requested you to act like Taylor Swift.
Oh, yes. Taylor Swift.
Yeah, can't you be a little whiter?
Anyhow, we are done for today. People, make sure that you guys keep it locked right here. Bobby Steels is up next with the Bobby Steels Takeover, or just name of that show. I don't know. I name it a different show every day. But we're here from 11 to 1. Keep it locked right here. We'll see you guys in a second tomorrow. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
3, 2, 1, keep it on. Silent night, holy night. Drink a rum and a punch up, drink a rum. Drink a rum and a punch up, drink a rum.
Spark FM.